Death Knight is an especially strong class against the dominant Fire, Elemental Mage, and Shaman decks. With powerful Death Rattle minions and efficient removals, Death Knights can dismantle the Fire Elemental Mage's board presence, turning their own minions against them. Against Shaman decks, Death Knights leverage their resilience and burst damage to outlast and outdamage the Shaman's decks. Whether it's relentless pressure of the FFU Death Knight, this deck is a top contender for the current meta. Join the ranks of Death Knight and dominate the battlefield. Come with me for a deep dive into the Death Knight aggressive class. The first of the powerhouses is Ethereal Oracle. It is a 3 mana minion with 2 attack and 3 health. It has spell damage and its spell burst is draw 2 spells. So in combination with Horn of Winter or the Coin, or it's a very aggressive card and it allows to combo with all of Death Knight's strong burn cards that are with the Frost variant of Death Knight. Another strong card for this class is Corpsicle. This is a new spell that was added in Perils of Paradise, and it deals 3 damage for 2 mana, and if you spend 3 of your corpses, you return it to your hand at the end of this turn. So this allows you to recycle this spell to deal very important burst damage to your opponent. Mining Casualties is one of the cards that you want to open with in your mulligan. So it's a 2 mana spell that summons 2 1/1 Silverhand Recruits with Death Rattle, summon a 1/1 Frail Ghoul. Basically, it allows you to deal 4 damage worth of pressure, and your opponent quite often will trade into 1, leave it open, and then you still have 3 damage worth of pressure to deal to your opponent. Horizon's Edge is a 4 mana location that you can use 5 times. It deals 3 damage split amongst all enemies. After you have a minion die, so for example the 1/1 charge minion that you can use from your hero power, you can deal 3 more damage to the opponents. It's very useful in using the aggressive strategy to make sure that you're dealing with your opponent's board, while also dealing very important damage to your opponent's hero. Razzle Dazzler is a 7 mana 4/4 minion. Its battle cry is summon a random 5 cost minion and repeat for each spell school you've cast this game. So with the Death Knight class, you generally will have 2 or 3 that you've used throughout the game before summoning this minion, and that allows you to go wide on the board when your opponent's cleared all the minions that you've used aggressively. And if your opponent leaves the board open with this card, it's quite likely that you'll end up winning the following turn or following turns.
We're playing against, I might just send out the Harbinger because I'm gonna have to deal with deal with the opponent. It's possible that they're going to use the spell that puts Divine Shield on. They're getting the rush minion. Okay, so I think my play here is going to be. I could probably just play down this here, and then I get the advantage onto the field. So ultimately, they're going to have trouble building their field because I've got so many minions that are out here. We'll see how many of them hit copies. It only copied 1 by the looks of it, so that seems like it's very strong. So I'm going to take control of the board here, which should ultimately lead to them conceding, I'm going to say, because they're not going to be able to perform very much coming into next turn. Don't know what that 1 drop would have been. It probably will be a catch of the day or something along the lines.
Ooh, arcane magic.
It's a funnel cake they copied. Okay. So using Morning Tease, that's dealing 3 minutes. That means they get control of the board using that. I might just play. I do want to clear that. I do want to clear the Ethereal Oracle, so I'll just get the board ready for it, and then I'll just get it my Corpsicle. So now, going into their next turn, they don't have any board, and I have 3 minions on the field. I'm going to be probably playing Horizon's Edge down for this turn.
Ooh, arcane magic.
They're funnel caking, so they're going to draw more spells and things.
Enigmatic.
It may end up just being a Corpsicle turn to get rid of their Ethereal Oracle. We'll see. I think I'm going to just be taking out the Ethereal Oracle, but by the looks of it, I might not be able to take it out this turn. Yeah, I don't have a way to deal with it, so I'm just going to play down my Horizon's Edge, hopefully get at least 1 into it. Hitting 2 is fine. And then next turn I'll be able to deal with whatever they send out. I'm hoping that I do get a spell damage minion relatively soon. So my own Ethereal Oracle would be very, very beneficial here. Down with the ships, okay, I guess. I'm gonna hit into that. I'll use the downward chip into the Ethereal Oracle before using my Horizon Edge. Okay, and then I'm probably just going to be playing down the second one into the... Okay, so going into next turn, I do have Razzle Dazzle that I could do. They're going to be playing down their Ethereal Oracle that they just got, I'd say. Yeah. Okay, I don't know if I have a way to deal with that just at the moment, so I may end up just playing down my guy. Ethereal Oracle is definitely very good here, so if I get 2 spells I could get another Corpsicle, which will then be able to deal with that. I'm going to just hit into
magic.
it.
How enigmatic.
See what I draw to Malted Magma. The Casualties. It's not really what I need to deal with this. So I can use my guy and hopefully I can hit twice into it. It's not really the ideal way that you want to be trying to deal with that, but I guess I got it, because I only needed a Horn of Winter or anything else to be able to deal with that.
Potential. Hero that champion order.
Okay. It's got life steal on it. I'm going to just go Malted Magma. Don't really have any way to deal with the 7 drop at the moment. If I refresh my mana crystals, I can get the Razzle Dazzler out, but I need to hope for a rush minion doing that. I might just deal with the Hound and
You
play
have earned an
Hound
eternity
down.
of torment.
Then hopefully they'll start drawing into some of the plagues that are in their deck. They're up to 6, 7 in their deck now.
Witness.
Okay, so they're playing down their next
arcane
Oracle,
magic.
which is fine.
Together in harmony.
How enigmatic.
I'm hoping here to get my Reach Shell.
That feels
That'd be
good.
very strong because I'd be able to do a trade into them.
How enigmatic.
Since they're running relatively low on spells, they've taken a lot of damage through that. Actually, that's lethal right there because I can use Molten Magma if they don't heal up there. Heal themselves up. I don't know what the idea was of him trying to draw extra cards. It's not the best idea. Yeah, this game because I have the Magma in hand. I'm surprised they're just not just conceding because I have the Magma and the Corpsicle in hand. Okay, so that shows the power of the deck. So you have the ability to burst down the opponent with the Corpsicle, but you also have the ability to go wide on the board. They're just using aggro style decks, so my best strategy here is just keeping the mining casualties because they're going to end up just going with 1-drops all over their field, and then I'll see what ends up coming from it. The Ethereal Oracle obviously is very good to have. I would love to have a Miracle Salesman to be able to trade into their field, but I don't think that's going to be happening at the moment, which is fine. Because ultimately I should be able to out-trade them, just simply because of my different spells and things like that.
I have healing. Oh, pull out. Sorry. Relax.
Okay, so they got a 2-3 and a 3-3. I could Corpsicle right now, but I don't really think it's very worthwhile, especially since I'd then lose the Corpsicle for later turns. I feel like they're just going to probably trade into these. Okay, I've got my Miracle Salesman, so I think I'm going to go Mining Casualties into the Miracle Salesman. And I'm just going to attack. Ultimately, I don't mind if they trade these sorts of things because I didn't have a way to deal with their board. I could have used Corpsicle, but I don't feel like it would have been beneficial for me. I do have the ability to use the Bloodhound here if I'd like to. Means I could take out... I can clear his board if I do the Bloodhound strategy. Use my Ethereal Oracle open for an extra turn, so I might just do that. I'm going to trade into the 3-2. I don't really want to leave him with anything on the board, so I might just clear that as well. And I'll just have his turn, because I feel like my build is going to be able to outlast him. I do still have enough to be able to use Corpsicle again. They're obviously able to use a trusty fishing rod to get extra minions onto their field, but if I end up drawing into a should mean that I should be able to deal with their board quite easily.
Relax your mind.
Malted Magma would basically win this game, so if I want to Winter into Malted Magma, it'd be an easy win by doing that. I'm going to play down my Ethereal Oracle. I might use the Corpsicle this turn just because I feel like it's going to best clear the board. Hopefully I can draw into well, Horn of Winter's fine to draw into. I'm going to use that. Because ultimately, trading in this situation is probably the best way to go about it. Getting rid of the 3-3, I could use down with the ship to get rid of the 3-3. And then I can just go hit into them, because if they end up wanting to trade, it will mean that they'll just be going into my Ethereal Oracle. They've only got 2 cards in their hand. I have the Razzle Dazzler in the following turn anyway. Okay, so if they funnel cake, they could get quite a bit of draws here. Not too concerned about it. I think I want to deal with one of these because I don't really want them to be just able to get the as much draw as they can. So, but then I'm going to draw an extra. I might draw the extra spell and just hit into it. Next turn I'll be able to use the Razzle Dazzler. Since they're using a relatively aggressive deck, I don't really have too many concerns to do with what they're actually doing now that it's later on in the game. So I have 2 spells at the moment. There's not any extra spells that I'll be able to add, so I think I'm just going to play the Razzle Dazzler. I've got a charge move, which is quite strong, obviously. I think I'm just going to take out one of the 3s.
You have been.
That's the concede there. I don't like Elemental Mage, obviously the Death Knight that I'm playing as well. Shaman, the Bone Shaman.
Will serve.
Okay, so I've got a relatively strong hand here. Not keeping Horn of Winter. I'll keep the other 2 so I can go 1 then 2. Obviously the Mulligan will get me Horn of Winter again. That's not that useful for me, but that's completely fine. I'll play down the Miracle Salesman. Obviously it's a very strong tempo card. Death Knight has a lot of different class options to be using, so it will be interesting to see which type of Death Knight this is. Okay, so they're going to be trading into my 2-2. This time I'm going to be playing down mining Casualties. And they'll probably end up trading into my one of my 1/1s through it. The following turn I think I'm going to be playing down Ethereal Oracle and see what happens from there. I'll see what they're playing first though. Because Ethereal Oracle, Horn of Winter will probably be very strong. So they're trading to make it so I lose my minions through that. So I'm going to play Ethereal Oracle, I'll use Horn of Winter. Draw me some cards. I think I'm probably going to be playing the Corpsicle down this turn, to be honest. So let's send the Corpsicle into the face. So obviously I can't keep using Corpsicle, I don't want to waste it because it's important to be able to cycle through them each time. I don't think that they really have much of a play this time, which is great for me. If I play down my second Ethereal Oracle, I could then oil into it.
Witness
2 damage.
arcane magic.
And then I'll end up drawing
enigmatic.
cards. I will go for this to build up the board some more.
Your spells have
Death
fractured.
Knight seems like they may just be going to go, like if they use Molten Mana they can clear my two 1/1s. But judging by how their board's been going, I should be pretty safe by doing this. Hey, the dirty running.
On the horizon!
Yeah, I think this actually ends up clearing my board if I trade into it,
To battle!
that'll go 1, 2. Yeah, I'm gonna use the corpse. Trade my 1.
Your spells are tragic.
To battle!
So it does mean that I lose my board, which is a little bit frustrating, but I have mental management skill I can also use Marrow Manipulator too. So hopefully they don't really have too much to deal with their board. Judging by the Dirty Rat play, this is probably a Reno list. It's quite likely I'm going to be playing Marrow Manipulator down this turn. And then Razzle Dazzle the following turn. Alright for me. Turn 6, I don't really think there'll be too much they'll be able to do. Unless they use the 6 mana card.
Well then, we have a problem.
Play down my Razzle Dazzle, see what happens with it. No rush, that's fine. I'll hit it for the 3-8 in hope that... In hope that the following turn he doesn't really have anything to follow up. Next turn I'm probably going to be using Corpsicle. Through my 6-5. So I have 13 damage on Horizon's Edge is pretty strong. Hit the Corpsicle into... We'll use Horizon's Edge, no negative play in doing that. I'll then do my one. Okay, but it means that I have a so I need to deal more damage using that, but it's fine. Into that one, so obviously the deck is quite strong and quite aggressive.
The Lich King versus Jaina.
You asked for it.
The past is dead.
It's quite likely this is an Elemental Mage, so my Mulligan choices was using Mining Casualties, and then working from there. I could play down the Miracle Salesman and then allows me to do Ethereal Oracle. I think that's probably going to be the play. I don't really want to play down these two just at the moment, but we'll see what happens. It might be end up going 2 into 3. They may play down the Flame Replica, which is fine. I'll play down Harbinger of Winter because I feel like there's not going to be very much they'll be able to do to deal with it. They could freeze it, but I don't think there's any damage they'll be able to deal to get rid of it. So I'm quite likely just going to be trading into the 2-3 here. Which I can't do now, that's fine. Down with the Ship is very strong in terms of this, so I'm probably just going to be using Down with the Ship to take it out. If I coin, I could quite likely get Horn of Winter, so let's
Witness
send out that. I'm gonna
true
coin,
arcane
and then
magic.
hopefully I get a Horn of Winter
How
through the
enigmatic.
coin as well. I did not. That's a pretty big fail. Unfortunate. That's fine though. If I trade into here, it may still get me the Horn of Winter, which I did. I'm gonna use my Horn of Winter now. And if I can deal 2 AoE to the board. And I can either kill the 2-1 or the 4-1. I feel like it's quite likely the best one to take out is the 4-1, because then because I can still use these 2 Malted Magmas the following turn. Because I don't really want my 2-3 to die here. So here I can use Down with the Ship or Corpsicle, and then my hero power. I feel like that's probably going to be the play. But if I do want to have a board, because it's quite likely the following turn they're going to be oh, that's a 5/5 actually.
Death calls.
Deal that board, because I don't want it to be getting another thing, and then I'm just going to AoE with the Malted Magma. Quite likely going to play down the 5-drop this turn. Okay, so that's quite good for me. So they're not trading into that, which is really beneficial for me. I'm going to use my Malted Magma. They've still got 2 damage that's there. I don't really want to waste my Down with the Ship on that. This is a lot of damage that I can deal to them, so I'm going to take out the... Yeah, I need to deal with the board here, so I'll keep my Oracle again for this turn. They may have Saron this turn.
I am the flaming heart of the universe.
Okay, so I'm going to use my Down with the Ship into the 2/6, I'm going to use Rush, and I'm going to send up my 2. So they're still letting me have a board, which is probably not that beneficial for them, because they will get this, and then they could possibly AoE me, which is, you know, obviously an issue that I'll need to worry about. But with the amount of board control that I have here, I should likely be able to pull out the win. Because if they Solar Flare, it means that they will have had to play down all their 3/2s. If they don't end up having the 3/2, then I should be fine. Fast line, that's fine. That's fine. So I'm gonna have to trade a 2-1 into there, and then I'll probably be laying down the Mario Manipulator. I'm hoping that I'll be able to hit quite a few into the face. If I don't, that's fine, but... They probably have the second lamp lighter here. Quite likely that they have just the win here, so I'm just gonna set up for next turn, but I think that they'll probably have the Lamplighter in their hand again. As I showed with my previous video, Elemental Mage is quite strong. Obviously you have quite a lot of bursts that you can use from your hand as well. Now if I play down I needed to land in a certain way if I played down the Mario Manipulator. If I do Corpsicle, doesn't help either. I just need to hope that the Mario Manipulator hits into both your minions and then the face. Yep. That was obviously quite lucky for me. So this is a deck that is capable of dealing with Elemental Mage as well. Obviously, I did get a little bit lucky in terms of my Marrow Manipulator hitting into the both of the minions. They, 5 shots, 1 and 3 for each of the different odds for it. So it is still a quite likely chance of being able to hit into those minions, but obviously there was a bit of luck involved with that win that was there. This does also show the power of the deck. Like, they were able to essentially go on curve the entire game, but I was still able to take out the win against them.